Oh look, it's an onslaught of gaming computers. Not like you haven't seen that from me before. But yes, this is just me showing off my entire gaming PC collection that I have so far. I'm going to be going over the specs, and we're kind of going, well, in terms of desktops, from least powerful to most powerful. Laptops, it's from smallest to largest. So yep. And I see I already messed up on the pattern of the laptop, so yeah. I'm going to start off with the laptops. Up top here, we have the little Alienware M11X. This is the R2 with an overclocked Core i7, 8GB of 1600 MHz RAM, a GT 335M graphics card, and a 300GB hard drive. All the modern Alienwares have a fully customizable keyboard. These little speaker lights here, they can all be changed colors and everything, so that's really cool. Up next we have the M14X, again R2. And this one I actually have powered on, but I'll open it anyways. Right here you can see the keyboard light up, and now it's off to save power. Because, well, the ones that do have a good battery don't last very long anyways. So this is just another one of those. This has a second generation Intel Core i7 clocking in at 3 GHz max turbo. The M11 had a 640 UM. This has a 2670 QM, so quad core. The M11X was dual core. And this has 16 GB of 1600 MHz RAM. And a GT 555M graphics card. You'll notice that I'll say M for a lot of the laptop graphics cards because that's exactly what they are, mobile. Now this might be a little bit unexpected, but this is a Dell Voxo 1700. It might not look like much, especially with all the destroyed keys of the keyboard, as you can see here. But yes, it is a graphics card because, by definition, a gaming PC is any PC with a dedicated graphics card. And then you're going to come back at me saying, but don't Macs have dedicated graphics cards too? The answer to that is yes, but they suck. Anyways, this has a GT 8400 graphics card, Core 2 Duo clocking in at 1.8 GHz and 3 GB of RAM. It's got an extended 9-cell battery on the back end, okay. And a 17.3-inch screen. This was my first laptop, so I care for it deeply. Up next, coming out of order, is the M17X, again, R2. And my bad, the M14X was the R1, not the R2. The M17X here has an Intel Core i7 720QM, so quad core. Again, all the keys can be programmed along with the speakers. This has a GTX 285M graphics card. It can hold two of them though, but it's only got one. I really want to get either a 580 or two 285s to give it more power, and that would replenish our already bad battery life. Now we're getting to the terms of no battery left. This here is the M9700, R1 I guess you could say, but there really was never R2. They went straight to the M9700i and the M9750, and they made several revisions of those, but only one revision of this. Unlike the other Alienwares, this does not have a backlit keyboard, but it does have some of the best sound you could get with all these audio ports. DVD drive strangely on the front. For the processor, this has a AMD Turon 64 ML40. I'm clocking in at 2.2 GHz. This has 2 GB of RAM and dual, what was it? 7900 GS graphics cards in SLI, so 1 gigabyte of total RAM. So, yep, that's good and powerful for the time. And now finally we have the obscure size. Well, absurd size, I should say. This here's the Alienware MALX 19-inch screen. If I could ever get it open. Very tight hinge too. This has absolutely no battery life. The backlit, the keyboard's not backlit. It's got 4 speakers. It's got dual 7950 GTX graphics cards for 1 gigabyte of total video RAM. The M9700 had 512 megabytes of video RAM. I do apologize. And this has a Turon ML44, so 2.4 gigahertz, single core, 2 gigabytes of RAM, all the good stuff of the time. Nowadays, although it looks cool, it doesn't perform cool. Let's just say that. Especially considering it's got Windows 8. Ouch. I want to get Windows XP on that as soon as possible. Now, from least powerful to most powerful desktop I've got. This here is the Gigabyte modified. None of these are powered up except for the Alienware right here. This has a overclocked Intel Pentium 4 processor because, you know, they weren't getting hot enough already. It's got a AMD 5800 series graphics card, so pretty good graphics for the time. It's got 3 gigabytes of RAM and a 80 gigabyte 7200 RPM hard drive. It's Windows 7, but it needs a lot of drivers right now. It used to have Windows XP. Now next is one of my most recent gaming PC builds. This has a AMD FX 4100 clocking in at 3.6 gigahertz stock speed. It's unlocked, so you can overclock it to your hertz to light. It's got 4 gigabytes of RAM, Windows 7 not Ultimate, and the Alienware edition of Windows 7 Professional. And it's got a PNY GT640 graphics card. So it's good to play all the modern games medium to high settings. Up next is my most recent gaming build. This is the Area 51, the very first model of the Area 51. Well, I shouldn't say that. They had the Area 51 since 1998. But this... Interruption. Okay, so anyways, I took out the old Pentium 4 guts of the original Area 51 and put in this huge front cooling fan and the guts of a Alienware Aurora R2, giving it the power of a Core i7-920 clocked at, or overclocked to 4 gigahertz. This has 8 gigabytes of RAM and an Accelerate Edition GTX 650. So it's got 2 gigabytes of RAM. And this has dual 250 gigabyte hard drives. And I forgot to mention that this one has a 320 gigabyte hard drive. And this has been a joy to build. I really liked it. This still has a few issues though, but it's good to run. I even put in a little wireless card and everything. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to be mine for very long, because I have someone who's interested in it. Okay, next up, the most powerful gaming PC I built. You can't see it, but it's all right here. It's all black. But yes, this has a AMD FX 6100 in it. I've overclocked it to 5 gigahertz before, so it's good to go for any amount of time. 6-core processor. It's only got 2 gigabytes of RAM and no hard drive, because it's for sale right now. And the graphics card is a GTX 660 Ti. So pretty much the best you could get in terms of that generation. Now they have the 700 series, and yes. So that's been my gaming PC collection so far, but it still feels like something's missing, like I need more. That's exactly what I'll do. See you next time for the Gaming PC Collection Part 2. See you then.